Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be setting up our AWS EC2 instances and running through that process. And once we have it set up, the next video will cover SSHing into it. Um, there are a few other ways how we can get Twilio to talk to our server, and I didn't really explicitly tell you why we needed this. The reason is because Twilio needs a public IP address to hit and send our text messages to. Right now, on our virtual machine, we are using our localhost domain. That is not public, so Twilio does not have a way to contact our server. We have to come up with a solution to allow our code to be public with a public IP and able to be hit by Twilio. There are three main solutions that I usually use. The first is Heroku, which allows us to post our code into like a public GitHub repository. You can think of it like that, and then the code is ran off of there, but it has no relation to our local machine. So if we wanted to save it on a database or anything like that, it would be very hard for us to do. The next solution I use is ngrok, and that costs money, but it allows you to have a URL on your host machine be a public URL, so people can actually hit your service that's on your local machine, and it's just super easy to run. I highly recommend it. I'll go get it. I'll make a video of how we get it and how we install it and how we use it. The problem is it costs like I think $60 for the basic version, which is what you would want. And then the third is AWS EC2 instances with a public IP, which is what we're going to be using. It's free for a year, so that you guys can go ahead and just like do this and not have to worry about pulling out your credit cards. However, I highly recommend looking at ngrok because it's just so much easier to deal with. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go to AWS in my browser, Amazon Web Services. And then I'm going to hit sign into the console. My YouTube account for some reason is having issues, so I had to create a different account for AWS, which is why that email is going to be different. But yeah, I was having some really strange issues. I think with my credit card information for some reason it's getting hung up, so I have to contact the customer service and get it all figured out. Anyway, don't be thrown off by this email. So let's go ahead and get started. Log into your console. If you do not have an AWS account already, I highly recommend you go check out my first series, how to create a Hello World app for Alexa. And in that, we kind of go over the basics of creating a AWS account. So in the AWS services, I'm going to type in EC2 Virtual Cloud Service. Awesome. So in here, we're going to go on this left side. We're going to go to Instances, and we're going to hit Launch Instance. For this, we are going to use an Ubuntu server. This is included in the free tier. You can see right here that it's free tier eligible. These are also, but I rarely ever use them. So go select the Ubuntu server. The only type of server that's available for the tier service is the T2 Micro. So go ahead and hit review and launch. Everything else is kind of boring to go through. We don't really need much of anything. We want our security group to be open to the world because we want people to be able to hit this server. If you want to make it a little bit safer, there are tutorials on how to do this, how to make your EC2 instance like only have certain ports and only let certain URLs through, and we probably will come back and do this, but since we just really want our server to talk to Twilio, and we just wanted to get it kind of working right now, let's just ignore that for now. We can come back and do that later. Cool, so I think everything is set up. These are just overviews of everything. We don't really need any tags because we only have one instance. Let's go ahead and hit launch. So this is a very important step. AWS is going to give you a key that is going to be used to SSH into your EC2 instance. You need to save this key wherever you keep your most high priority files, because once it's deleted or removed or lost, you cannot get a key pair for this EC2 instance again, or it's going to be very hard to. and it can cause a lot of problems. So I highly recommend putting this file wherever wherever you know it's going to be safe. So go ahead and in this drop down box, hit create a new key pair, name this Twilio EC2, and then download the key pair. Save that file. It's a PIM file. And I'm going to open up my Windows Explorer, and I'm going to hit this. This is where I keep all my stuff: YouTube videos, YouTube assets. I'm going to drag that PIM file into my YouTube assets folder. I know where that's going to be. I know it's safe there. Put that PIM file wherever you feel it's safe, and then hit launch instance. Awesome. So now we can click this view instance. Don't be worried about this. You should have no bills if you stayed within the realms of like what I did for the free tier service. So you should not get billed. Go to view instances, and you'll see that this instance is now running, or it's initializing rather. Once this says that the checks have finalized, then it's actually up and running. Okay, guys. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to SSH into that EC2 instance. We're going to install Git and pull down our code. See you guys then.